So Redwan, in the meantime, you try Facebook Live. It doesn't happen. That's fine. Okay. So guys, welcome to our 2025 LMS BC Blaster webinar. So most of the information we are going to provide today, it's going to be for BC Blasters. And for the other two leagues, we will just give you the start date and time. So moving on, most of you know what LMS is all about. This is a little bit outdated information. I don't have the current one. This is from 2023. But as far as I know, the players number have reached close to 200,000 or plus by now. What's LMS? LMS, majority of you know already, but I'm just going to give you, this is a fourth season. That's why people know. 2-hour 8-a-side game, focusing mostly on inclusivity, especially if you're a hardworking individual. It's not easy to play 7-8 hours anymore. Like personally, I also maybe play 2 or 3 games, but for 2 hours game, we do play a lot because it's easier. The game starts at 5:30 p.m. and finishes by 8 after work. So no issues with family and friends time and other things. One of the mottos is anybody's game. People with every skill can come and play, and we encourage them to come and play with us. So we try to be as less competitive as possible, even though there have been issues we understand the last couple of years, and we have made some rules to address those issues. And we'll talk about this in a bit. We started in BC in Ontario in 2022. Why it's different? It's just giving amateur players the professional experience with the use of technology, global ranking, live streaming here and there, real-time highlights, and international events. We did have issues with live streaming also, but this year we are trying to rectify those too. It's basically the problem with the new server because Canada did not have a server and we are trying to establish one. We basically use the server from US. Start local and go global. So this year the championship is in UK. I think it's 20 years anniversary. Yes, 20 years anniversary of Last Minute Stands Global. We will also talking to them to see what extra incentives we can provide you guys. And the World Cup is going to be in UK for this year. This is a number that I'm extremely proud of because there are more and more videos coming. As I was talking to some of you, we haven't been posting a lot for different reasons. And not only the business, but as well as some privacy and other reasons too, right? And every time we posted something, we get copied. You guys know very well. So every of our leaks are copied by other people. So we try not to post too much anymore. But anyway, in 3 years, we have reached to 1,453 registered athletes. I'm not saying 1,453 plays at the same time, but we do have 1,453 registration in Canada, mostly majority in BC at this point. We're extremely proud of that. Last year, we had more than 400 plus games from 3 leagues, as well as some junior programs here and there. LMS BC Blasters, LMS EarlyRisers, and LMS University League. We promote diversity, equity, and inclusion as much as possible. And we promote a safe and healthy environment connected to sport for life also. And we give amateur cricketers the professional experience that we have mentioned before. For example, you can compare your profile with your friend in India or other places. Currently, our leagues are operated in a non-profit structure under LMS Canada DEI Foundation. And our focus is trying to support and remove all the barriers. You know that LMS is the second league in BC, and there was another league that is more than 100 plus years. So the foundation was built to break those barriers because it's extremely difficult to get a new team in other leagues. And the other leagues is mostly a club structure, even though we might have to go towards a club structure soon because some teams are struggling to get sponsors and other things, but it makes sense. However, personally, I'm not a fan of club structure because of so many issues. Even though I do play club cricket still, but there are issues. It's difficult to handle for people who are not really at top of their game. They get judged and whatever. But LMS, you can play literally with anyone. And my proudest achievement, our proudest achievement in LMS, including the teams and players, are ethnic teams, right? For example, we have like, I don't want to mention the city's name or anything, but those are ethnic. You can literally play with your friends. And there was one team I still remember. There are 6 people from the same family playing, and then 2, 3 people from outside. So this is something that we want to promote, and which is a community sport for all. And plus, we have supported many newcomers to Canada by playing them free. Unfortunately, our funding are slowly dying down, and you know that there has been a negative connotation, unfortunately, for DEI, which is really sad nowadays. But we are trying. We have a very strong team this year to get maybe another avenue to get more funds here and there, but we are working hard on those, just to let you know. However, we are not telling you now if there is any newcomer discounts or anything, but there will be, and we will announce that soon once we get approval of some funds, I guess. Where we play, because there have been rumors there is no LMS, because we have been pretty quiet, especially I have been very quiet. There have been another rumor also that Imrul is out of LMS, right? Imrul can never be out of LMS. So we just had our AGM recently, and I was a director anyway, so I recently got elected as a president also. And Redwan here, he's the director of operation. So we are not going anywhere. We are here. So let's not talk about indoor venues much. Let's quickly move on to our outdoor venues that we're going to play this year. So we have Newton Athletic Park again, like last year. We have Bridgeview. We have a lot of permits in Inver Creek. So a lot of games you can expect to be in Inver Creek, and I think it's a popular one too. North Surrey Community Park. I know it's a small ground, but it's mostly, I believe, on weekend. Sullivan Heights. Maruf, did I miss anything from Surrey?
No, not so far. HP Matthew as well.
Oh, okay. Maybe. Yeah. HP Matthews, something that we don't like, but anyway. For Burnaby,
and then North Surrey Community.
yes, North Surrey. For Burnaby, have been extremely supportive. For Burnaby, we even have weekend permits now. So we have Spalding North and South both. Burnaby is extremely important for us. It's easier for people in Vancouver, Surrey, and Burnaby, Vancouver and Surrey and other cities to come and play there. Vancouver, we have Douglas Memorial, Trafalgar, Connaught. I missed one. I don't know which one. There are 5. So for some reason, I missed one. So we have Douglas Memorial, Trafalgar, Connaught. There is one missing, but anyway.
Downtown. In downtown, as in Stanley Park, we have, right?
No, it's Stanley Park. We don't do this anymore. People cannot go there.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot one more other than Stanley Park, but there are 5 grounds we have in Vancouver. The reason we know this, Winston, because we are planning a huge tournament in Vancouver, one-day tournament in September. So I know that I have full day booking of 5 days for that. So 5 grounds, full day booking of 5 grounds. So this is how I know 5, but anyway, it doesn't matter. More important is the rules and other things. Cost, I know. These rules are very common of LMS. I don't want to go over this like we always do in webinar. You can just go to lastminutestens.com and hit rules. But we are making some changes I will show you. Respect to umpires, same as before. Immediate 5-run penalty from now on for any disrespect. We did not really force it last year, but this year we will. First warning, on-field penalty. Second offense and team disqualifications. And I'm not sure if you have noticed in the other league, I can't mention the name because it's recorded. They have even rule now, if you have excessive appealing, you get a lifetime ban from that league. I'm not sure if you have noticed, but if you go to Meraloma Club's website, they have listed all the rules of that league. And I didn't know, right? So this is, I think it's a good one, because people appeal excessively, and then in other leagues, the umpires can be biased. In our league, umpires are not biased. There is no reason. Even though there has been cases, I know, and we will try to rectify it this year. We are going to talk about this in a bit. Yeah, Winston, go ahead.
Okay, so this year we are having only single umpire or both umpires?
No, same, because we talked to LMS Global about this, right? It's still one umpire, but we will implement something because it's costly, right? We have to pay every umpire. And yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so sometimes the same team, like umpiring, they will not give the correct decision, right? So that's why.
It's a bias not only here, Winston, it's all over the world. We encourage teams not to do this anymore, which is why you'll see we have made some changes. Remember last year we had 24 teams, right? In BC Blaster, right? This year we are cutting it down. We do not want those teams anymore. You know what I mean? There are teams created trouble. You know very well, Ashik Bhai, some of you know very well, right? So we don't want them. It's fine. And at the same time, You'll so see some of the rules in a bit, Winston. Then I'll come back to you.
Okay.
We are making some changes. At the same time, give us more feedback how we can improve this, including one umpire, right? Because two is extremely costly, and if we pass this on that cost to teams are not going to like this. Already, the cost is pretty like daunting, right? Even though it's less than other leagues per game, but it's still. Redwan, take a note of this. We will reach out to Winston. He's going to be a member anyway of our foundation. We'll talk about this, and then we will get the ideas from how we can handle those things. Yeah. Hi, Navjot and other people. Yes. I'll take questions in a bit if you have any. LMS shirt requirement. We have 1 month lead time like all the time because some teams always want to do some new shirts. So for every team, we'll have a 1 month lead time from the start of the league. Ongoing rule update, we'll continue to update rules. Like we want to get feedback from you guys, right? And we will put this in a Google Doc in the organizers WhatsApp group so that you can always have access to this. And the new rules, we'll probably highlight them in yellow or red or something. So Redwan, take a note on this in the Google Doc so we can highlight them in yellow. So these are game rules. So I want you guys to take good notes of this, okay? There are some key rules. Those are carried forward from last year. Teams must be on time or face penalties. Umpire will enforce this more strictly in 2025. It creates a lot of trouble. And I'll reach out to some of you soon to know how we can do this in a way without pissing off teams. Okay, we will talk about this soon, but take a note of that. Player may be charged upfront to reduce no-show, and it will be. I'll talk about this in a bit. Because some teams don't care, which is another reason we are cutting it down to 18 from 24. Because we know the regular defaulters, because some of you, I know all of you on the webinars, I don't want to mention names. You guys follow rules, but others don't. And that is not right. And slowly we will start cutting down teams like this because we want to keep the game very social, at the same time competitive, but in a social and very fair setting. Scoring training, captain should complete umpiring and score training proactively, or at least have another person of your team have that training done. What if the umpire had an accident or something and we don't want to cancel the game at this point? It never happened last year. It happened the year before when I went to the ground and did the umpiring. This year we'll do the same. No fielder's call, very important. Umpire decision is final on boundaries. So Redwan, can you also take a note of this? We tell the umpire there is absolutely no fielder's call. Or anyone who is sitting outside. Umpire needs to take the decision themselves. And I think that we implemented pretty well last year. Yeah, Winston, go ahead.
So sometimes umpire will not able to see the 4 and 6, right? So how we can take that?
I know it's tough. It's tough, but whatever the umpire decides, that's the point. Because cricket has a rule, right? Umpire can make mistakes. We understand. Whatever the umpire decides at that point.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just have to respect it. I've seen this happening in HP Matthews because it has like weird settings, right? The ground is a little bit weird sized. So I've seen, I think either Ashik Bhai or someone else was the umpire. That's good. They came running and then they took their decision, which is exactly what we want. And without listening to the fielders, okay. Eligibility for playoffs. Players must play 50% of the prior match, same as before, to qualify for semi and final, unless approved by the opposition captain in advance. Helmet required. If helmet is not there, 2-game suspension if no one wants to wear the helmet. So Redwan, take a note of that too for the umpires. Promote sponsorship and honesty. Awards are given for these values anyway. We'll talk about this later. Guys, these are the very important rules. We have highlighted them in red, unbelievably important. And we had several issues this year, which I don't want to say on record. Mandatory player registration with us, not only with LMS, also with us. In addition to LMS website, player must submit their full legal name, address, and photo in a separate Google form. And we will satisfy the Canadian FIPPA, FIPA privacy law and everything. We are not going to share this with anyone. Pictures we will not share with anyone anyway, but your name and addresses are generally shared with the cities for only to make sure that for example, there are rules by some cities, right? City of Surrey has a rule that 60% of the registered players who are playing in City of Surrey, not per game, overall, at least 60% should be City of Surrey resident. I think Burnaby have similar rules too. Vancouver is not there yet, but they're thinking. So this is why address is unbelievably important to us. And LMS website still doesn't collect that, but we talk to them so they can add that as a mandatory field. Otherwise, we will send you a Google form. So keep in mind, we will send you a Google form ahead of the league start, and we need this. Another reason is unfair use of players. Some of you great captains are here. You can tell me about that, right? So people use unfair players very often. There were issues also in the final games. The photos will help us verify. And this time we don't want ad hoc umpires. By the way, there is another thing we changed. You'll really love that. We have umpires per ground. So that umpire will do most games or almost all games of that ground only. So that's how they can have better access to, and they should know. There is no umpire is coming at the last moment this year, unless there are emergencies, but we'll try to avoid that. Uniform policy, no extra point for wearing trousers, very important. And I can get some feedback on this too. Some captains are here. You know what happened with trousers last year, right? And if you notice LMS Australia, LMS UK, they have 1,000 teams and 500 teams in the whole country. I think UK have close to 1,000. Australia have maybe 500 plus. You see, they often play with, what do you call it, shorts and everything. Personally, I'm not a fan of shorts. I will always wear same colored trousers. But that trouser issue gave us serious level of trouble last year. We have even lost revenue. Some teams said, oh, we don't like this. They left and they did not pay. And they're all banned at this point. There are 2 or 3 teams that are completely banned for this year, right? And we don't want that anymore. So there is no trouser points for this year, but we still encourage people to look a little bit more professional. I will pause a little bit to see if you guys have any feedback on that. Anyone? Okay. No feedback, that means it's okay. Forfeiture penalty, also important. There have been intentional forfeit. For example, 2 teams have beefs. They know that they're not going to be in the top 2. So they will forfeit a game to make sure, right, the team they don't like not go to the top 2. There is no intentional forfeit going forward. If there is one, there will be 15 point. And as per our policy of fairness in LMS, we might even get rid of them and ban them for life because this is unfair. Okay. Okay, thank you. Someone commented already, no point for trousers. Good. Game rescheduling policy. No rescheduling. This is important too. No rescheduling for rained out or forfeited matches. No leagues does that. We have been doing this, and that created so much trouble because people said, oh, we are biased. You have done this for this team. You did not do this for that team. I mean, if I'm biased, I would make my own team and be the champion, right? So we've never done this, and I know cultural issues comes into play sometimes, but that's something we will uphold throughout. Yeah, Winston, go ahead.
If the match stops by rained out, you will collect the money for that match?
So that's a good question. So if the match gets rained out, right? How do we fund this? That we haven't discussed yet.
Okay.
If you go with Winston, other leagues, they don't refund, right? You know that already for rained out or anything because they charge in advance. But
Okay.
that's a good question because you charge your players per game, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So I understand that. It's not that I would have done the exact same thing, but Winston, give us some idea when we reach out. Okay.
Okay.
Give us some idea around that. What can we do? Because look, we still have to pay for, I mean, being very honest on the webinar, I know it's recorded. We still need to pay for ground. Ground, we cannot right? Money cannot get back. We still need to pay for some money to the umpires. I forgot, Redwan knows. Even the umpire is not coming, because they have committed to us, right? That these hours I'm not gonna take another job. Maybe the umpire is doing DoorDash, Uber, whatever. But I got rendered, we don't want to penalize them for that. We pay probably 50-60% of what they're supposed to get to keep the umpires in the long run, right? Otherwise, umpire changes all the time. So we can figure that out. We do not have cost of balls, right? So maybe we can reduce that. Then we do not have cost of maybe, Redwan, do we have to pay LMS global if the game is rendered out?
No.
Okay. So that's another thing, right? So we might be saving money there too. So captains who are here, they're obviously serious. That's why they're here. Guys, let us know. Send me or Maruf an email that maybe we can refund 50%, maybe we can refund 40%, something to recover at least our ground cost and the umpire cost. Okay.
Yeah,
We haven't discussed. Yeah, we haven't discussed that. So this is another interesting thing, because remember, for university and EarlyRiser, we could not have the final, and we had to listen to so many stuffs, and we had to give joint champions. And we will keep this time one reserve day for semis and finals for this year. Other rules, live streaming options. This is also new. Take a note. Teams can now buy streaming pass for a very small fee. That means you can stream your own game. If you have a phone, you can connect with LMS and directly stream your own game in LMS. Redwan, can you take this on and talk a little bit about this? How much is the cost and how it works? Cost and how it works?
Yeah. So you can buy a full season pass for $50.
50?
And you
Sorry, Redwan, did you say 50?
Live stream all your game from your phone. 50.
Oh, that's easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
50 for the full season. You can live stream all your game and more if you want. I mean, you will have access to all the games. You can just go in your app, live streaming app, and live stream any game at any point. You just need a phone, good internet connection, and a tripod. And maybe for some phones, you need a power bank. That's all you need.
That is a fantastic news. The reason, guys, I did not attend the meeting, I could not with the global, but Redwan did. That is also a fantastic news for me, because imagine if we do live streaming ourselves, we also have high cost, and we generally pass the cost to the teams anyway, which is more than 50. I know. And this is a good decision. It doesn't mean that we will not do streaming. We will do some of them, but we expect the teams to stream their game. And some of them already do. I know Durbar, Vikings, they do, and I think Hyderabad did before. They do their streaming in their own phone just for sponsors, but now they can do it within the LMS app. That's good. They can do within the LMS app, right, Redwan?
Sorry, I lost
They
you
do
there.
the streaming with LMS, same way that we do, right?
Yes, same thing,
Oh.
same. Everything would be same. Scoring and everything same.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. So day and city-based leagues, we are exploring, but let's not go there now. We will keep it same as last year. But initial idea from 2022 was always to have city-based games. And we are slowly organizing better as a foundation, as a nonprofit organization. Once we get the teams as members, once we create different committee, we will start discussing more, because so far, most of the decision has been made by me, Redwan, and maybe 3-4 of our program officers and league managers, right? That's not sustainable at all, because it's not necessarily we know everything. Team registration, full advance payment required for entry. But again, we will talk about this in a bit, okay? Umpiring assignment, each ground will have a designated umpire. That's a big difference than last year, which is fantastic. And Redwan is working very hard on this to make sure every ground have one designated umpire, and we're gonna contract them for the whole 4 months. 4 or 5 months of summer. That, for example, you are doing Sparling North whole summer, done. And they will know their schedule in advance too. It also gives them a sense of employment, right? So we might also do BC Champions League. We are discussing this. For example, BC Blasters champions, EarlyRisers champions, and University League champions. And if the Ontario is running this year or Ottawa is running this year, we have to reach out. Their champions can do national, and BC champions can pay their own Champions League in BC. I think that would be fun. If you have any feedback, let me know on that. And we can have wildcard entries too, because sometimes some teams unfairly doesn't go to final and we feel bad. But we can have wildcard entries as management discretion. What do you think about this? If anyone want to give some feedback. And one other thing, we might do this in partnership with Cricket BC also, but again, it's very political. We're still working with them. We look forward to a fair and competitive 2025 season. These are the main big rules we are changing this year. Yes, thank you. Yeah, we can do a BC championship for only the BC champions of every league, later maybe in September. This is something you will love. New league managers, all of the managers, obviously, look, we are extremely thankful for our league managers that left. I'm going to be very honest on the video. Sagar has left for outside Lower Mainland. He doesn't live here anymore. So he has been here for the last 3 years. Anmol moved to Kelowna, and then he's running our operation there, actually, at this point, talking to people in Okanagan and Kelowna. And because we have teams from there too, if you remember Okanagan Hawks before. So we don't have league managers, right? Them, the dedicated ones, and we want to thank them for their services. We have completely brand new 3 league managers. We actually know the name by now already, but their names and photos, everything will be announced on social media very soon. And if I'm not mistaken, Ridwan, are all of them MBS? For league managers?
Sorry, was that?
I think all of them are MBS, isn't it? This year? I'm not saying the name, but
Yeah.
So see, we are getting professional league managers. MBS from SFU, UCW, and I think UBC, or I forgot. But you'll have very professional league managers going forward. Our previous league managers are also unbelievably professionals, right? But there are issues here and there. It always happens. And when they left us, we were very, sad, unbelievably sad, because they have been trained, they knew everything. But now we have 3 more. Designated to Surrey, Burnaby, and Vancouver. That's a big change. This is a big, huge change. So guys, keep an eye on your WhatsApp message, if I have your number, or on your email. This year, we're going to have a stronger governance and more teams' voice. We're not going to invite all the teams that we don't know. We'll only inviting dedicated clubs and teams who played with us for the past 3 years to become official LMS DEI Foundation members. Similar to other leagues, they do the same. However, we want to keep it politics free as much as possible, right? They will form key committee. We'll have this time a protest and discipline committee. So any issues at the ground, any disciplinary situation, they will solve. And there will be at least 3 members or 5 members. So the votes are always like that. So it's not me taking decision. Remember, last year it was me and Redwan or some league managers taking decision. That is not right. Okay, so we'll have look for a message from me. League and operation committee, that's extremely important because Redwan gets very overwhelmed running the games at the ground. The operations committee, for example, Winston, when you were talking about maybe we should do something about the leg umpire, right? These kind of suggestions, the operation committees will provide us. You know what? Last year we did not do this one right. Let's fix it this year. or maybe in the middle of the season, there is something comes up. This is something I'm very proud of. DEI committee will help us get more kids, more equity deserving people, more women, more refugees, maybe anyone who have barriers to play the game, that we will discuss within the committee to how we can enhance our inclusivity further. And a sponsorship and funding committee too, which will basically help the league to get more funds for newcomers so we can refund some of the amount for the teams. If we, and at this, because look, so far it has been me and Redwan going for, we didn't even go for too much sponsorship, to be honest. Whatever is sponsor we have gotten, they came by themselves with our community. Grants, yeah, I have experience of grant writing, and even those are going down because of economy, and thank you to President Trump, right? So you know what's going on. So now we want to expand this to all our people around us to give us some suggestion what we can do. Because look, my personal goal when we first bought LMS was that if we should not charge any fee to anyone who is newcomers to Canada, people should not pay to play a game. That was my point, because I pay $40 to $35 to $40 per game in the other league. I can afford it, I know, but a newcomer cannot, right? So we will discuss those. So we'll give your team a seat at the table. Official table is, again, not all the teams who helped us in the past 3 years. So join the movement and shape the future of the game with us and take some leadership, okay? Take this on from us. This is another thing I want you to take a note, but don't be optimistic. And also this is political. When I put this on the slide, I was thinking, should I even put this on the slide? But anyway, it's okay. I got used to it, right? It's fine. Cricket BC membership opportunity for clubs, not teams. Teams cannot be member, okay? We are in talks with Cricket BC to get official membership similar to BCMCL and VDCA, Victoria District Cricket Association. But look, there are politics and other things, so we're not optimistic. This is the 3rd year we applied, right? What this means, if approved, your team or club actually, sorry, not team, will be a Cricket BC platform, and you will be a member of Cricket BC. You will also be able to vote. Formal, why this is important? Formal recognition as Cricket BC member, access to provincial tournament, funding and grants, because you must be a registered legal entity, right? Non-profit entity. So when you become that and you are under Cricket BC, it helps you to also get sponsors from your team and your club. But they have a fee though, which we don't know how much it is to be determined, but I know that my club in the other league pays about $250 to $300 a year. I don't remember, but that's an extra cost on top. But if you divide this across players, it's not too much. If you're interested, I will reach out to you. You don't have to worry about this now, or you can reach out to me. At this point, I'll show you everything, how to set up the society, how to set up the nonprofit. I'll also show you how to go for a sponsorship. We'll share a deck with you this year. We have hired some people to create even better decks than last year. So if you know any realtors, if you know any restaurants or whoever, you'll be able to reach out to them with those. Umpire training. All umpires now receive private training by Redwan. All umpires, right? LMS certified gear and access to Teams feedback form. So there is actually already a way to give feedback on every game. 2 or 3 teams tries it, but we have 50 plus teams. The other teams have no clue. Please give us feedback after a game officially. WhatsApp doesn't help. And if you notice my WhatsApp now, you won't be even get through me, which is something I'm very proud of. I used to spend so much time and screw up my mental health, but now it's tough. So, but if you send us an officially complaint through the LMS feedback form, it creates an official channel. I can send it to the protest and discipline or the operation committee, right? And then they can handle it professionally. Okay. Let me see. There was a chat. Yes. Yeah. We'll let you know. Simran bhai, I will reach out to you. I knew that you're the first one who's going to say that. Okay. I'll reach out to you about that. And plus send me a message by, I know it's sometimes I'm not replying, but I see. I had my last class yesterday. Again, saying oversharing on a record yesterday. So I do have a little bit of more time after 15th. Okay. So I will be handling more after 15th. Umpires must arrive on time, wear proper kit, and maintain professionalism. If not, just let us know. We will apply penalty. We will start deducting payment or something this year. But the thing is that if you do not let us know, we don't know what's going on. Yeah, Winston, go ahead.
Umbral, is there any tournament structure that you have any PPT slide at that?
Coming there, I think I should have done that before, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a professor, man. You need to stop me sometime.
Yeah, that's why I stopped.
Maybe I do that first. Okay. I
Yeah.
do that first. BC Blaster. Thank you so much, Winston. BC Blaster is starting April 28th. Surrey, Burnaby, Vancouver, same as before. Last year we had 24 teams. This year we are taking 18. We don't want difficult teams. Okay. For more fun, better management, and to prioritize juniors and women cricket too, some permits will go for them. Confirmed teams at this point, I went through the registration form. We have 13 teams already confirmed. About same as last time. We had the final August 21st last time. So go by that. It will probably finish 2 or 1 weeks before August 21st. So you'll be playing 18 to 19 games per team, depending on if you go to semi, but minimum 18. I will show you how in a bit. Played over around 12 weeks. So that means not every week you're not going to get 3 games. That's what I'm trying to say. It's possible to get 2 games per week, but not 3. That's the format. Same as before. And I want feedback now because Redwan and I, we could not figure this out. We went through all the permits. We have very little Wednesday permit, right? So last year it was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. I understand that Monday, Wednesday is probably better. Tuesday, Thursday is probably better. And then Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, we can keep that one. What do you guys think? You can write on the chat or let me know now. Last year it was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm asking this one versus maybe Monday and another day, and then Tuesday, Thursday. So there is 1 day gap. What do you think is good? So maybe Winston, I start with you. What do you think? And then I go to Simar Bhai and Ashik Bhai, whoever is here, and Navjot.
Yeah, I think it's fine for both like Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, that's also fine. This is also looks good for me. But I have one question.
Yes.
So can you go to the previous slide?
Here.
Okay. So last year, I think you have from each group you have taken only 2 players or something like that, right? So out of 6 or 7 teams from the group. So can you explain more about how we are grouping and how we are taking the teams for the next semi-finals or whatever it is?
Here, that slide. So
okay.
I wish I had the pen with me right now. 18 teams, right? 3 division, 6, 6, 6 right now. 6 per division. Each will play each other twice. So that's 10 games for you, isn't it? You have 5 opposition, so 10 games. Then you go to round 2, same as before, top 3 of each. So total 9 teams go for cup. And bottom 3, those are total bottom 9 teams from 3 division go for plate. And you're playing each other once there. So out of, let's say if you're in the top, you're playing each other once. So you have another 8 games. So total 10 plus 8, 18. Does it make sense?
Okay, yeah.
And semi, actually, it's a good idea. Last year, what we did, we took 3 top. Oh no, we are fine because, no, sorry, I'm thinking way too much. Cup will have only 1 anyway, and plate will have only 1 anyway. So it's okay. So top 2 will just play semi.
I think, yeah, So from each group, you are taking only one team. Is that correct?
You're talking about semi-final?
Yes.
We haven't discussed. I think this is why we will reach out to the operation committee.
Yeah. So that's last year. It was I think everyone discussed with the umpires. Why? Because last year I didn't attend the session, so that's why I didn't know about it. And suddenly I heard that only one team is going to this next round. So that was very disappointing at that time. Yeah, I just want to check with you on that.
That's a good point. So if I'm thinking correctly, and all of some of the good captains are here too, listen carefully. So if I'm thinking correctly, this one will have, let's say, one cup, not really three different cups, one cup division. And within cup, forget about plate for a second. Within cup, we can still do IPL style semi-final. Does it make sense? We can still do that, right? So after 9 teams, top 4 can still play IPL style semi-final, like 3 semi-final. I think that's the right way to go. We haven't finalized yet, right?
Yeah, you can discuss and update that.
Yes. We haven't, but it is. I always love the IPL style one. I think that gives a fair chance to everyone by playing 2 more games, right? But it's not gonna happen. I can guarantee that it's not gonna happen that top 2 directly play final. You know what I mean? That's not gonna happen. We'll give another chance to the third and fourth.
Okay.
Yeah. But another challenge here, this is why I will invite you guys to participate in the operation committee. Another challenge here, let's say, Simar by Winston, whoever you guys, let's say in the Monday, Tuesday division, let's say. You played 10 games, done. But maybe your teams now think, okay, which day we are playing? So we have to discuss those two, how to structure that so that teams also can get their schedules ready in advance. We don't have to discuss this today because I want to finish this session quickly. But when the time comes, 3 weeks before, we need to plan together, all the captains who are in the operation committee, together we will decide. It's no longer me and Redwan. We will together decide what's right and we'll take votes. Okay. Team free breakdown, we did not increase the cost per player. It was 21.5 last year. I know there is huge inflation, economic crisis and everything, and I'm giving like talks every day. So we did not change it. 18 games times 8, 21.5 is 3096. But we did added some cost. I will explain this later, not in the recording. Why? Each team paying 150. So if you divide across 18 games times 8 players, this is nothing. Team registration fee same as before. This is not we charge, that's LMS Global charges. If you buy shirts from LMS Global, this $50 is gone. That's their fee, not ours. But this one is our new fee. I will discuss outside the recording, not now. Then, because our fundings are going down for juniors and women, and we have close to 55 kids we are supporting, and women we're going to bring about 15 to 20. We're just trying to create a buffer that some funding, and 50 is nothing for the whole team, I understand. 8 players will be able to contribute $5 per person for that. So overall, 3346 looks big, even though I used to manage my club's team, right? For the other league, that's like 6,000 now. I know for a fact. Some of you play there too. I don't want to say the name. 6,000 per team there, plus lunch and other things. So even though as a management, we decided we will charge right away, but today I personally made this decision, Redwan may not like it, that by April 18th, you pay half. It's okay. Same as last year. We're not changing it. But this is very important. You will not get a reminder. Take a note right now. May 18th, you pay the second, or your game will be canceled immediately, right? So we are giving you some time to collect the second installments, sending to the same email as this, then you can avoid that 3% fee or whatever. But guys, please write down the amount because sometimes the payment get delayed because we forget to send invoice in advance. We will not be sending invoice in advance. You transfer the payment, your team is in. Later, we will send you the invoice if you need this for tax purposes, sponsorship purposes, whatever. And if we get some money for newcomers, we will adjust for the second fee. Don't worry. Okay. But not at the beginning. So keep these two numbers in mind and just transfer to confirm your team. Transfer 1673. Okay. Yeah, Navjot, don't worry. Just use the form to register yourself as a team. We'll figure it out. I will talk to you later. Okay. Send me a message later. We'll discuss that. But register teams now. Money, how to send, where to send, we'll discuss. And by the way, if you have shortage of players, there is one captain here. I don't want to say the name on record. Even most of you have built teams from floaters, right? We have tons of floaters, unbelievable numbers of floaters. Some of them are excellent players. Some of the captains, I cannot say the name in the webinar, but we are doing a lot of podcast videos of over there. I will mention the names. I'm extremely proud of them, how they actually take floaters, groom them, and make them a good player and a consistent player of the club. That's exactly what we are talking about, inclusivity. Okay. So we will, if you are short, let us know. We have many. Prizes, same as last year. LMS does not encourage prize money. We tried, but they don't. Even in the Australia, I think they have 500 plus teams, Australia, UK, right? The cash prizes are rare. They don't provide that. World champ is in England this year. But we, similar as last year, cup champion will get 2,000 credit. Plate champion gets 1,000 credit. You can use it towards the championship entry or the next year's fee. So you'll getting 2,000 or 1,000 discount towards those. These are some of the pictures from our last couple of years. I could not do 2024, could not find time, but anyway, you see our trophies and everything looks pretty good. And this is the proposed award list. We might add some more, like for example, most clutch performance, best captain leadership, social media highlights. This is something important. We want the clubs to have strong social media presence. And you can follow Simmerbite for that, just to directly tell the name in the video, right? So the way you manage your social media, and that's exactly what the sponsor comes for, right? Best batsman, best bowler, all-rounder, keeper, we already have those, and all these other awards, we already have them from before. Okay, I will go back to the other slide. Now you know the structure, okay? Weather and emergency policy. Decision time, we take 2:30 p.m. if we have to do a rain out. So do not ask before that, right? So 2:30 p.m., it's not going to be after that. So we will decide by then. And for the morning games, by the 12th night before. If games are cancelled and no permit available, points will be divided, similar to before, but there are no rescheduling. And we'll, like I said, we discussed how we can manage it. Umpire will inspect pitch and final decision is theirs. Okay, if we go to the ground and then the rain comes. Scoring team must promptly update its scoreboard and player stats. Guys, take a note of this. This is so important. Sometimes umpire give the trouser point, and we just said this year there is no trouser point. By mistake, the umpire probably sometimes the software doesn't work too. They have to press and then move on. There are glitches too. Make sure your points are updated on the same day. Reach out to the operation committee, Redwan, or the league manager. We'll see. So make sure the entry is fixed the same day, because then when we fix it later, people think we are biased, right? So be careful on that. Yeah, no problem. I think some of you are leaving. That's fine. Okay, no problem. Teams must confirm if the points and tables are correct right away. Short policy, 30-day buffer, as we discussed. Same color shirts encouraged. Mismatches will get 2 warnings in general from the teams and umpires. And then for the trouser, there is no point this year. Code of conduct, no, you'll get live bans this year. We talked about this and we have already banned many players from last year. They're not going to come and play LMS because we have pictures now, right? Management reserves the right to ban any player. Floater rule, if floater team is added, the opponent will be informed in advance. For example, the floater team can have any players, right? So that's why we'll be informed before that. Ball quality, we are ordering premium. There are two kinds of LMS balls. One is regular, the other one is premium. Premium is a little bit more expensive. So we will be ordering premium without increasing your cost. Same point system as before. So you can take a snapshot for new teams. Exactly same as before, except no point for trousers and shorts this year. So maximum point is 9, not 10 anymore. Other rules are, you can just go to lastmineinstance.com/rules. You'll find player conduct, payment of match fees, rules, and other conducts there. Branding and marketing is important. How you can brand yourself. Durbar does a good job, so I took their example. So if you go to the team page, the team name is on the left, and you can put your sponsor's name here. That's one way you can promote. And another way, in your shirt, you can put the sponsor's logo. And you can reach out to us, right? We have a dedicated sponsorship person. I will connect you with them, and they will give you a 5-slide deck where you can add your information to get more sponsors. And we talked about the league format already. University League, other LMS leagues. University League we are very proud to say, we are officially approved. If you see any other leagues, they are not approved at all. And because you're not allowed to use the word university, not allowed without the permission of Ministry of Post-Secondary Education or Future Skills. And we got the permission already last year. We didn't complain about other leagues, but it's okay. Last year, we had 15 teams there. And this year, our target is 18. But I know that easily we will get 20, but our target is 18. Same format. It can be 2 to 3 division, round 1, round 2. Doesn't matter at this point, but I really want to do cup and plate over there also, as some teams complained that it's better to have, if your team is weaker, it's not fun to continuously lose, right? Start date, take a note. If you're playing in the University League, late June or early July, this is when most people come back from vacation. For example, some university kids, they go for vacation in the first half of summer, but they come back in the second half of summer. The games can be 8 to 18, we'll discuss later. Cost is same, 21.5 per player. For some teams, it's funded by the university. Some teams is not. So we'll discuss that later. EarlyRisers, last year we had 11 teams. This year we are cutting down 10 teams. We have the same permits. Don't worry, we have permits. It's just we don't want troubled teams anymore. One division, each play 9 games. As simple as that. And then IPL style semi-final. That is not changing. Same as last year. New leagues, Canadian Women Cricket League. We might do this in partnership with Cricket BC or other bodies, other clubs. Won't mention the name at this point. We're discussing with them, but it can get political. But anyway, launching in June, 4 teams to begin with. There are another league we are planning. I cannot say this because we get copied all the time, right? LMS Canadian and Junior League, also launching in June. Good news is that we are partnering with multiple BC school boards. Won't mention because we get copied again. Who are those school boards? We are directly talking to them. They reached out to us, which we are very proud of, having 6 junior teams over there. Players will be all under 17, mainly focusing on skill building, sportsmanship and fun. We are not focusing on competition, no fights, nothing. Kids needs to play, okay? And given how much time they spend on a screen nowadays, they must play. That's what we want to focus on. No matter what the skill levels are, they should play. Matches will be scheduled in evenings and weekends, and we are expanding our junior program extensively. Some of you guys are here, you might have kids, just listen carefully. There are other junior programs and everyone charges. There are certain companies, they're for profit, certain are non-profit. They do charge 300, 400 a month. We charge 0 for our training to our kids. So no fees whatsoever for kids to train. And this year I decided I will train the kids also personally so that I can see them through universities also. And not only cricket coaching, as well as personal mentoring and life skills. You know already how to register, but for the sake of the recording, because you're going to post this later, is you go to lastminuteinstance.com, click register, either create a team if you want to build a new team. I don't think we'll have space for new team though, but you have to reach out quickly, or join a team. It's pretty simple. Just take a snapshot. But this is must this year. You must register all the players. That registration form is required for insurance permit. We'll send you the form once you register a team immediately. Every player needs to have those 3 information at a minimum: name, address, including postal code, and the picture. Picture will never be shared anywhere, we promise. No one. It's for us, for the umpires, and umpires sign an NDA with us when they sign a contract. And phone and email, of course, right? But phone and email we can always get from LMS website too. There are sub-franchise opportunities if you really want to take this game on. We are currently talking to someone in the Fraser Valley location, Okanagan location. But those are the locations you can go and run your leagues of LMS if you want to, because we don't want to go outside Lower Mainland at this point. Because for this, it's mostly our passion project, even though there are so many rumors here and there. For Ridwan and me, it's always been a passion project. So that's all, guys, for today. 5:07, I've 7 minutes over, but I can stay for another 8 minutes to answer your question. I guess none, so it's okay. I'm gonna shut it down, so maybe you can talk privately.